YouTuber Harbor Explorers returns to the vast and remote expanse of Bindery National Park. Known for its dense bushland and rugged terrain, the area is beautiful, but it's also tied to a disturbing history. Harbor and a friend set out with a specific destination in mind, a mysterious tent long rumored to be connected to a local tragedy. Years ago, a man known for his love of wild camping in this very park vanished.
Alright, what's going on? Today we're back on another hiking mission. It's been a bloody while, but plan is we're going to head up into Bindery National Park. We're going to hike about 5k's into the middle of the bush, check out a creepy old bloody abandoned tent in the middle of nowhere out there. So apparently there's a bit of a backstory about it, and it being linked to a dead body found actually just near here. So we're going to go have a scratch around, see what we find, and then hike down to a pretty cool waterfall swimming hole. So
it was Friday the 13th when Harbor and his friends set off to find it. With about 5 kilometers to hike through thick forest, the mood was light but cautious. The men retraced the suspected route of the missing camper, all while recalling the known details of the case. The dead man was said to be deeply familiar with the area, often venturing alone to camp and explore. His partial remains were discovered in a flooded creek, and some believed a long-abandoned tent might still be out there, untouched since the day he disappeared. As they hiked deeper, the forest seemed to close in around them. Fresh animal tracks, large and recently made, were spotted in the soft dirt. It was a quiet reminder of how untamed this landscape truly was. Harbor mentioned, almost casually, that he always carries a knife when venturing this far off-grid, just in case. After nearly an hour of trekking through increasingly dense undergrowth, they found it.
alright, here we are. It's a bit weird, eh? It's like a kid's bag there. It's a hiking pack. Part of a chair. I can't believe it's still standing. Yeah, so who knows how long this thing's been here. I mean, the body of the fella was found, I think, 2009. So if it is his, I'm not good at maths, what's that, 15 years or so ago? Surely it can't still be standing. We're gonna have a look around and see what we can find. What is it?
Data manufacturer, 2000, 28th of the 3rd, 2007.
Yeah, right. Bloody hell. So it could be that old, eh? Oh, that's a pair of track pants.
What size are they?
I can't see. Lift the bag up. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a bloody small line under there.
It's all orange paint inside it. Bright orange paint. Travel tag? No name on it? Oh, it's a coke wrapper.
Dunno. Yeah,
What brand bag is it?
there's nothing in it, eh?
Check that brand and then see the photo. Check the photo. You know what I mean? That's written on something.
Samoa 85. 85 litre.
Let's just pat it all away.
Tattered but intact, the structure had clearly weathered years of exposure. Surrounding it were strange items, scattered and decaying. A child's backpack, a folded-up camp chair, a large hiking pack, and a duffel bag, all seemingly frozen in time. Among the items, one detail stood out, a battery marked with a date that aligned closely with the man's disappearance in the mid-2000s. If this truly was his gear, it had remained here undisturbed for over 15 years. Harbour and his companion chose not to disturb the items too much, out of respect for the possibility that this was, in fact, a man's final camp. But then the forest answered back. A distant sound echoed across the trees, low, hollow, and unnatural, like a distorted horn or a call. Both men heard it. They paused. No explanation came to mind. There were no vehicles, no other hikers. The noise did not repeat.
Yeah, it's creepy in here, eh? I don't know, it's just got a weird feeling. I don't know, you probably would have heard on the video just then there was like a horn noise. It was only, sounded man-made, and it was only 100 metres or so away, so it's pretty much the way we're heading down this waterfall. Yeah, it's pretty bloody eerie if this was the actual tent of the torso that was found.
Harbour had originally considered camping overnight at the site to do a full solo investigation. But in that moment, something changed. The unease that had been building finally settled in. They continued further, toward the creek where the torso had been found. The descent led them into a steep, narrow canyon, slippery, shadowed, and potentially lethal during heavy rain. Harbour speculated aloud. If old mate slipped in here during flood time and got washed down there a little bit, I don't think he'd be able to get out. That'd probably do enough damage to turn you into just a torso. It was only a theory, but a chilling one.
I was literally thinking of coming out here and doing an episode and camping solo next to this tent. That's off. I don't know if I want to do it anymore. Bloody weird. All right, we're gonna get out of this creepy spot, head down the creek, find this waterfall, and then we'll jet out of here. All right, there it is, just down there. Now, just to add another level of creepiness to the tent and the whole story, there's a supposed cult. Or yeah, it's a bit of a known story that there's a cult living, bit of a community sort of thing, down the bottom of this creek. Not sure if it's true. Again, just a story, but adds another level to it. Yeah, it turns into a gnarly canyon just down around the corner there. Me and sure I've actually hiked up the whole creek pretty much to probably only a few hundred metres around that corner. It's a tough hike. Yeah, she gets a bit gnarly down around the corner there. I mean, if old mate slipped in here somewhere during flood time and got washed down there a little bit, I don't think you'd be able to get out. And that would probably do enough damage to turn you into just a torso, but the speculation, we don't know that, so. But yeah, it's a gnarly canyon. Awesome spot.
Eventually, they climbed back up to the tent. The evidence they had seen, dated items, personal belongings, the location, all seemed to support the theory that this was the lost camper's final resting place.
All right, we're back up. All right, body off, dead man's tent. Pretty much just trail now about 4 or 5 k's again back to the car. So let's go. Friday the 13th. We didn't even see anything too creepy. No cloaked cult members or anything sitting around the tent. Did hear that bloody horn though, so I'll have a listen to that. Turn it up when I get home and listen to footage. It's probably just a tree rubbing together, but dead set sound like a horn. Anyway, let's go.
Back at the vehicle, Harbour closed the video in his usual relaxed style, but the sense of discomfort lingered. It wasn't just the story behind the tent. It was the strange sound, the isolated location, and the heavy feeling that followed them the entire hike. There were no cults, no cryptids, no clear signs of foul play, but somehow the truth felt even more disturbing. This wasn't fiction. This was real.
All right, we're back. All right, we're done and dusted. We're out of here. Yeah, she's a creepy old bloody tent. That one out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm guessing by some of the dates and whatnot we saw on the battery and a couple of those things and the cooker, they sort of marry up to around when he went missing or he was found. So I'm guessing that probably was his tent, but still unsure, not completely sure if it was or not. But anyway, we're out of here. We'll see you guys the next one.
The creator behind the channel Talberber had done this many times before. Solo van life trips were his thing, low-key, peaceful, and a chance to reset. He'd brought some new gear to test out, set up camp not far from a forest trail, and even roasted some s'mores over the fire. The camera showed a tranquil scene, a van tucked between the trees, the sky turning dark, the fire gently burning out. First, it was perfect, almost too perfect. Then headlights. A truck began creeping slowly along the dirt road near his sight. At first, he thought maybe someone was lost, or maybe they had car trouble, but the behavior didn't match. The vehicle would roll a few feet, stop, then crawl forward again. No one got out, no signals, just two shadowy figures inside, brake lights blinking unnaturally. He picked up his camera and began recording, whispering into the mic. He didn't panic, but he didn't take chances either.
Guys, there's kind of like a sketchy truck. There's at least two guys in there. If you can see their brake lights here, they keep like stopping and going super slow. I don't know if they're just trying to check me out and see what I got going on. Obviously I carried that like nice power station and stuff back in here, so I didn't show myself like packing back up, but I'm by myself and I do not have you know what to shoot, so I got some bear mace and like a knife and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna hang out here or if I'm gonna go to a different spot tonight. I mean, I got my setup basically ready to go. I just everything's back in the van. The fire's basically burnt out, so if I have to roll out of here, I just don't want them to be scoping me out and then tonight try to come in here and maybe mess with the van or try to, you know, rob me of what I got in here. So I'm just finishing up my coffee right now. I got the lights off in here just because I don't want them to be able to see in here very well, just in case they are being weirdos and trying to see what I got going on. They may be cool, maybe they're just dealing with some vehicle issues, but you never know, man. When you're out in the middle of the woods by yourself, people do weird stuff, dude. So I'm kind of laying low right now.
He made a decision, a quick one. He started packing things back into the van, extinguished the fire, and turned off every light source inside. He didn't want to be seen, not clearly. Even though it was just a hunch, something about the situation felt wrong. He wasn't armed. All he had was some bear spray and a knife. Out here, that's not much. Still, he stayed calm, laid low, let the fire die out naturally, keeping an eye on the tree-line.
There's another car there being kind of sketchy. Not as sketchy as the other car, but just finishing packing up. I'm not sure if I want to put the window shades up or not yet, just in case I got to roll. I don't want to not be able to see out the windows. Well, guys, it's almost pitch dark out here. The phone does make it look a little bit brighter. The fire's basically out. Those people left, thankfully. I'm a little iffy tonight, but I'm going to start putting on my window shades here now, and then we'll get inside.
As if the first truck wasn't enough, another car appeared. This one didn't linger as long, but it pulled up slow, paused near the trees, and then quietly backed away. No conversation, no headlights, just another ghost in the night. With both vehicles now gone, he locked the doors and covered all the windows. The van became his safe room, the only barrier between himself and whatever had just occurred. Inside, he spoke candidly to the camera. He couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't just curious. They were scoping him out, maybe for what gear he had, maybe to see if he was armed, or alone, or maybe something worse. Even for him, a grown man, it was unnerving.
Well, guys, I am in the safe van. I have all the window shades up. That was by far the most sketchy situation I've been van camping. It's kind of hard to describe, but people were going extremely slow and being really weird. The second one might have been some kids doing something they shouldn't be. But the first one was just really weird. It took him about 10 minutes to go, and I mean, he was going super slow. He was leaning out like as if he was like listening for the sound of his car or something, but I've never heard somebody go that slow, and just, especially when you're right by somebody, to be that weird. Like, wouldn't you just go down the road a little bit? So I know there was a passenger in there. I don't know if there's other people in the back. He had really tinted windows. It's just kind of weird, especially when you have a nice power station. You got some nice equipment inside your van, and if you never know if somebody's trying to like scout you out, see if you have a weapon, to see what you have, or see if you're a single female or something. Thankfully, I'm a male, but if I was a female, a pretty female, you never know what would happen.
By morning, the woods were still. No vehicles, no people, just birds and squirrels around the van, oddly social and unbothered by his presence. The sunlight brought relief, but not closure. He brewed some coffee and reflected on what had happened.
Normally I try not to come out to these state forests during the weekend because that's when you get a lot of people, and that's why last night was pretty sketchy. But it was a Saturday night, now it's Sunday morning, so you know, you still got people driving around, but thankfully nobody messed with me or the van. But I'll definitely be getting that license to carry for protection. So by far the sketchiest feeling and situation I've had so far, but we got through it, and now we're going to be more prepared in the future.
What began as a relaxing paddle on the water quickly escalated into a moment of real-world horror, one that was broadcast live. The creator had taken their kayak out that evening, expecting a chill day of fishing, exploring, and connecting with their audience. The stream had just begun. The river was calm, empty of boaters, felt like the perfect setting. But then a sound, one that didn't belong.
I think I'm on stream. Those birds freaked out. What the hell is that noise? I'm going over there. I don't know if the stream is working or not yet, but I need to hear whatever the hell is happening over there. Hey, do y'all hear that screaming? Is that something I should be like worried about?
Yeah, there's people under there.
A scream, sharp, human, and frantic, cut through the calm like a knife. It didn't echo from a canyon or a nearby tunnel. It came from directly underneath the bridge ahead. Startled, the creator called out toward the bridge, confused and concerned. There were other people around, some under the bridge themselves. They heard it too, but they didn't seem interested in helping. Maybe they were unsure. Maybe they were scared. The creator's instinct told him something was wrong.
Whew. I think my day is about to be ruined. Ugh. Are you okay? Well, I didn't hear any screams for help back. Yeah. No one called out when I asked if they were okay. Hopefully they're just having a bad trip or something. I thought it was like a bobcat or something at first. I don't know if I should call the... You think I should call the police?
It sounded like somebody was yelling.
Yeah, I'll probably call him and just tell him someone's screaming under the bridge.
He dialed emergency services immediately, giving them the location, a description of the sound, and a warning that someone might be in real trouble. But that's when something even more chilling happened. The screaming stopped mid-sentence, like someone had flipped a switch. No trailing off, no echo, just gone. The timing was eerie. The creator hadn't even finished his call when it happened. Determined to get answers, he paddled to shore, climbed the rocky embankment, and searched under the bridge. He called out again. No response, but what he did find was disturbing.
Is anyone up here? You see anyone? No? Which way did you see him walk?
This way.
That way? Yeah, I mean, definitely at least one, if not a couple people living here.
Beneath the bridge, near the supports, was what appeared to be a makeshift shelter. Scattered belongings, worn bedding, signs that someone, possibly multiple people, had been living there recently, but the area was now silent, lifeless. Whoever had screamed, if it was someone, was gone.
I heard that. Getting down from here is not going to be fun. There's no one up here, but there's stuff like, it looks like fresh tea or something. He's coming back now. Anyone or nah? Anyone?
I don't see anybody.
Nah. Oh, that's a good question. No, but someone definitely was just laying in bed right now.
There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, no torn clothing, no injured person waiting for help, just absence, the kind of absence that raises more questions than answers. The creator stayed for a while, calling out, listening, but nothing stirred. Eventually, he left, shaken and unsettled. He would never forget how fast everything had shifted, from serenity to fear, from action to nothingness.
Well, I guess we stopped whatever was happening.
Maybe.
Best case scenario, she was just screaming by herself.
Tripping.
Yeah.
Good shit, I guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing, hopefully that's all it was.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You too. Thanks again.